These OEM-style halogen fog lights are the perfect option for 2019 to 2024 Ram 2500 and 3500 owners out there who want a simple, economical way to refresh or update their truck's lighting. Whether you're adding fog lights for the first time and value that OEM-style integration, or you're on the hunt for an affordable way to replace damaged or aging original units, these will look and act the part for way less than you pay for a set from Mopar. Fog lights are an important part of your truck's lighting setup, and especially on a truck that may be seeing a lot of miles, having a good set of fog lights can help make driving it safer and just generally more pleasant. This set, as the name implies, is essentially a replica of what your truck may have come with from the factory. You get two round halogen fog lights with clear lenses over top, and you've got these nice integrated housings as well. And these are designed to fit perfectly in your lower front bumper, and they even have provisions for your front parking sensors if your truck came so equipped. These will utilize the standard halogen bulbs, so that means that replacement or upgraded bulbs are easy to come by and they're also affordable. That clear lens over top will ensure that you'll get a nice clean beam pattern when you switch them on, which is the most important part, so you can more easily see down the road in adverse conditions. And if you are adding fog lights for the first time, it comes with all the stuff you need, including pre-done wiring, a relay, and a switch. So really all you've got to do is plug these in, run power and ground, and you're set to go. We'll talk more about installation though in a few moments. Construction is all OEM grade materials as well, featuring ABS plastic housings and those clear polycarbonate lenses on the outside. So these are going to look good for a while and they'll be able to stand up to the elements. Now these also have integrated adjusters on the back so you can get them aimed properly, and that means they are DOT and SAE approved, making them fully street legal. Pricing might just be the best part though, as the set will only run you about $120. So they're definitely a lot less than you'd pay if you try to get the same type of setup from Mopar or your Ram dealer. And for those of you who are adding fog lights for the first time, it'll be a lot less expensive because again, it comes with everything you need. So if you're after an economical way to replace or add fog lights on your truck, you really can't beat this price. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 1 hour to complete. It will take you a little bit longer, obviously, if your truck does not have fog lights, because you're going to have to run some wiring and plug a few things in. However, again, there's really no wiring to speak of. It's just power and ground. The relay is already set and ready to go, and everything is otherwise pre-wired and just has to be plugged in. Providing you have fog lights on your truck though, this is going to be a really super simple bolt-on installation. You'll just need to unbolt your old ones, pop these right back in their place, and plug them in. And even if you don't have the fog lights, again, it's really not going to be all that much more work. We're going to walk you through the install process right now though, so for that, let's head out to the shop.
For this install, you will need a pry tool, various impacts, a ratchet, an extension, shallow and deep 10mm sockets, a 13 and 18mm socket, 8mm wrench, 13mm ratchet wrench, 18mm wrench, a clip removal tool, some wire strippers and crimpers, a microfiber towel or regular towel, a razor knife, a magnet, male spade connector and T-tap, and also not shown here is a jack and jack stands and someone to help you get your bumper on and off. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing some fog lights on our Ram, so let's get started. Alrighty guys, so now we've got our truck up in the air because we need to remove our front bumper in order to install our fog lights. So it's best to do this from underneath. Now we're going to be popping out some push clips and removing some bolts. We'll show you where everything is, but it's definitely the best idea to remove your bumper first. So we'll get after it now. Alright guys, so first we're going to remove the push clips holding our little lower shroud to our bumper. You don't need to remove the whole thing. There's just about 5 of these clips holding it onto the bumper itself. So we've got a clip removal tool. We're gonna get up in here. And these might be a little bit of a pain to get to at first. Definitely up in there good. That one out. Just wanna make sure they're loose. This thing will kind of fall back down like so. Now the rest of the bumper to get off is pretty easy. We just have 2 bolts right here on each side for our frame horns. So we're gonna grab our 18mm socket on our impact and an 18mm wrench, and we're gonna remove the nuts. We're gonna leave the bolts loosely in place. Once we grab an extra set of hands, we'll pull this off. Now you can remove one from each side. I'll leave that bolt in. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Alright guys, so now we have an extra set of hands to help us get this off, and we've got our table in place. We're going to lay our bumper down on it. We do have some microfibers down because we don't want to scratch chrome. We'll remove those last 2 bolts and put it on the table. Alrighty guys, so now that we have the bumper off, we're gonna need to remove these inner brace brackets so we can access our openings for where our fog lights are gonna mount. So they're held on by various 13mm bolts, as well as one of these push clips. So we've got a 13mm socket, a 13mm ratchet wrench, and a clip removal tool. We'll get these out so we can access these cover panels. So now we're gonna remove our push clip first with our clip removal tool. So we'll get that out. Then we can remove our top bolts with our 13mm socket on our impact. And once we have all those out, we can move around to our side bolts with our 13mm ratchet wrench. So once you get this to a certain point, you'll be able to turn it out by hand. And this last one over here is a little easier to get to. Now once we have all of our hardware out, we can work this out of position. It's gonna be a little bit weird getting it out, but it will come out. Once you pop that edge, kind of work this tab up, slide that out, and set it aside. Now these factory covers are held in by some T-nuts with 8mm nuts. So we'll get our 8mm wrench, and you just need to loosen these up a little bit, to be honest. They'll pop right out like so. We're gonna save these because we're gonna reuse them to mount our new front fascia. Once we have those out, push this down and out. Now once you have this side completely disassembled, you can repeat the same process for the other side. So now we're gonna pop in our new trim panel with the access hole for our new fog lights. Now these are pre-drilled with covers for our parking sensors. Now we don't have parking sensors on this truck, but if you do, you will need to go ahead and pop those out so your sensors have room. So we'll get this in, slide that in and lock that back tab in place. We'll get that into place, make sure both of your side tabs lock in. Next, we can reinstall our factory hardware. So we'll slot these back in. We'll get them all in place loosely first. Make sure those fully seat and lock into place. Once we have all those in, get them as tight as we can by hand first, just to save some time. And while you're doing this, you want to kind of push from the front side of the bumper on that trim to make sure it stays flush. We'll grab our 8mm wrench, tighten these down. You want to kind of go back and forth one side to the other as you tighten these so that they tighten evenly. Now we've got our fog light assembly and our support bracket. We're gonna add in these threaded clips to the 4 openings right here. Now we've got this as it's supposed to set in to the bumper. Get these in place, make sure they line up with those holes. And you want the threaded side to be facing down. Once we have those in place, we'll set our fog light on. Now these do have a couple dowels that line up with these rectangular holes. Once you have those in place, we'll grab our provided 10mm bolts, get those started into those clips. Now we'll tighten those down with our 10mm socket. Now we're going to get our bracket back into place. Slide that in position. Remember to lift up this tab, get this end piece on. Gently slide that into place. Now we're gonna get these two bottom 13 mils back in place first. It's much easier to do this while your bracket is loose. So we'll get these started. This one as well. Now before we tighten these down, we'll get the rest of our hardware in as well as our push clip, and then we'll tighten everything down. We'll reinstall all of our hardware. Sometimes these clips will move around, you just gotta push them back into place. And our push clip. And we'll come back and tighten down all these bolts. And we'll grab our 13 mil ratchet wrench for these. And this one again is pretty tight, so you may need to use your open end to get it going. Now once you've got this side installed, you can repeat the same process for the other side. Alrighty guys, so now that we have everything onto our bumper, before we reinstall that, we're gonna get our wiring situated. Now the first thing we're gonna need to do is pass the switch for our harness through the firewall into our cab so we can wire everything up in the engine bay. Now the best spot to do that is gonna be at a grommet located right next to your brake booster. However, it is behind this auxiliary junction block that we need to unbolt and move out of the way. So it's held on by two 10 millimeter bolts down in front of it, in between that and the battery. So we're gonna grab our 10 millimeter socket and an extension, get in here and unbolt these. Definitely don't want to drop these, getting them out. Now those bolts we just loosened up are kind of a pain to get out. So if you have a magnet, now is its time to shine. And we'll set those aside. Now we're gonna lift this out of its location, and that will drop down like so. There's a good bit of room. You can lower it. And that will give you access to this main grommet right back here. Now ours already has a slit in it. You have a couple options. You can cut a hole in it or kind of move it to the side, or a combination of both, in order to get enough room to pass this switch through. Now I will say, if this thing is brand new, that grommet is pretty stiff, so it's gonna be a little bit of a fight, but just have some patience and we're gonna work it through there. Now we've got our switch that is unplugged from the rest of our harness. I'm gonna get that in position and try to start to work it through. Again, a lot of times you can't really do this by hand, but you get that down there and ready to go. And we're gonna grab a pry tool, get at the edge of this grommet. You're kind of fighting for space if you're using a pry tool like this. So now we've come into our cab, and we're gonna reach up directly to the right of our parking brake pedal. I'm gonna grab our switch and harness, and pull enough through so we have our switch in a mountable location. Now you kind of have free rein to mount this however you like. Your switch also comes with an adhesive backing, which we will apply to our switch. So we're gonna pull the red side of our adhesive cover off. Easier said than done sometimes. Now sometimes the white side will come off first, that's fine. You can kind of eyeball where you're gonna mount your adhesive, which ours is gonna be right there. Now we'll pull the red side of our cover off, and we'll mount up our switch. That's gonna be a simple on-off function. All right guys, so now we're back into our engine bay, and we have the remainder of our harness up and ready to go. And the first thing we're gonna do, pull the fuse out of our harness. That's gonna keep our circuitry dead until we're ready to power it up. So we're gonna set that aside. Now we have a couple things we have to connect, first of which being the switch side of our harness. First thing we'll do is plug this in. Now we're also gonna hook our relay side of our ground up to that same body ground. It's just best to do these one at a time so you can hold your terminals. It is a little tricky getting two open-ended terminals in at once. And once we got both of those in, Now we're gonna hook the positive wire of our fuse side of our harness onto our positive terminal of our battery. So once again, we'll take our 10mm socket and we're just gonna hook it to the pinch bolt for our positive terminal. Get that ready to tighten back down. Make sure you have room. Alright guys, so now we need to attach our power wire for our switch. We're going to attach ours to our DRL wire at our headlight. Just makes it easy when you turn your DRLs on, you're going to have power at your switch and you can turn your fog lights on with your DRLs and or headlights. Now if you want to activate this on another type of power source, you can. You just need to find an accessory power source to do so. This is just a very simple accessible wire to do this. And so we're going to reach down behind our driver's side headlight and unplug that connector. So you just need to pop the red safety tab off, push down and unplug that. Then you have plenty of room to work with if you bring this up here. Now the DRL wire on our headlights specifically, this was for the premium wiring, even though we have our halogen factory headlights. We're going to be looking for the white and dark blue wire. So we're going to need to cut a little bit of this loom back to access this at a higher point. So we'll grab a razor knife and very carefully cut this loom back. Now it is taped at the end, so we'll need to deal with that. Then after that, it's kind of open. I always want to exercise caution when cutting into a loom. Definitely don't want to cut your wiring. We'll just make some gentle slits. See if that opened it up, which it did. Peel that back and we'll be able to unwind our loom. This makes it nice because once you tap in, you can just kind of reattach your loom. Now there is some tape underneath that can kind of just stay where it's at. I'm gonna pull back this loom. Now you want to kind of set a mark where this is going to land. So you want to have your headlight at the connector. Drop your wire down. You pretty much want it to come right here at the top of the bend. So make sure to pull enough loom back to get to that point. Now we can untape this wire if you feel you need to, or you can just cut it at that point. We're going to isolate that white and dark blue wire up and out of the rest of the bundle. Okay. Now that we have access to our wire, we're going to add in a T-tap. This is going to saddle around the wire. You want to make sure you have enough room for that to get in there. Again, this is kind of a tedious process. You're in a bit of a tight working area. You don't want to damage any of your other wires. So we have that up. We need to get it into the metal saddle in our tap, like so. We'll close the tap around it. I want to squeeze that until it locks into place. Now we're going to add a male spade connector to our orange wire. They do come pre-stripped. Now these don't come with your kit, but it's something you will need and they're readily available at any auto parts store. So we'll grab our wire crimpers, give that a nice crimp. So now we can plug our male spade connector into the back side of that tap. And we'll plug our headlight back in. Now you can kind of wrap your loom back around if you so choose. You can leave it how it is. That's up to you. So now that we have everything else hooked up, we can take our connectors for our actual fog lights and drop that section of the harness down through under to where our bumper area is. So you have a nice gap right next to your washer fluid reservoir where you can see the ground. We're going to send that down through there, get it into our frame horn area. You want to be careful with this. Now you have a shorter side and a longer side. The shorter side is obviously going to be for your driver's side. The longer side is going to be for the passenger. So we'll get this down into that area. Now the biggest thing here is you want to make sure this is not in the way of any hot or moving parts. You don't want to damage your harness or your vehicle in the process. Get that dropped down. Then we'll go under our grill and pull the harness through. All right, so now we're down to our bumper area and you can see our harness has started to poke through. We're gonna pull that down. Now there is a little brace down here that you kind of want to direct it behind in order to get a cleaner sweep into the area where we need to be. Pull that all the way down as much as your harness will let you go. And then we'll be able to plug in both of our fog lights. Now we're going to leave this back here for now. We'll plug it in once we install our bumper. So now we're ready to put our bumper back on. So we've got an extra set of hands, and we're going to get this back into place on our frame horns and reinstall our factory hardware. Now we can get our nuts reinstalled onto our mounting bolts. We want to set our bumper back into its original position, and you can use the marks from the nuts themselves to kind of get this back in place. So what we're going to do is get these just snug, again with our 18 mil wrench, our 18 mil socket. And we'll do that on both sides. And you should be able to move this back into position and then tighten it down fully. And then you can do the same thing for the other side. Now we can plug our fog lights in. So we'll grab our shorter connector for our driver's side. Now these can only plug in one way. So we'll get that one clicked in, and we'll send our passenger side over to the other fog light. Now once you have everything plugged in, you can secure the rest of your harness up out of the way however you prefer. There's a couple little support brackets that you could zip tie it to, or whatever you feel is necessary. You can kind of make it your own at this point, clean it, tuck it, however you'd like. Next, we can get our shroud back into place and line up all our push clips. So we're up inside of the bumper. We're going to kind of pull this back, get our clips to line up. Now once you have all of them lined up, it's actually easier to push them in from the front of the bumper, so we'll go around front and do that. Now we're out to the front of the bumper. We're going to reach into the opening between arc grille and bumper, and we'll pop these clips into place. Now we're once again back to our engine bay, so we can set our fuse block back in place. Pick that back up, get that lined up with its mounting holes. And once again, we're going to use our magnet to get these bolts back into place. Now if you don't have a magnet, you can get these back in by hand. It's just much easier with a magnet. Get those started. Once we have those on, we'll tighten it back down with our 10 mil socket and extension. Now that we have everything else in place, we can reinstall our fuse into our circuit. Make sure that's nice and secure. Close that back up. Now the main thing here is you just want to make sure your wiring is tucked and out of the way of everything, and you'll be good to go. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our OEM style halogen fog lights and clear housings for your 19 to 24 Ram 2500. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.